everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. I'm your host, Julie Fairhurst, and I have a very interesting lady today. She's written a book, and I just love the title. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Today, I'm joined by Carine Van Hee. Now, she's an artist, a speaker, a survivor of domestic abuse, and the author of Is It Me? I love that. Is it me? The hidden system behind toxic relationships. Carine lives in Norway, and her work is rooted in helping people feel less lonely by speaking honestly about the hidden system behind toxic relationships. Her journey has included multiple career pivots, 2 marriages and divorces, and finally at 50, stepping fully into what she believes her soul's calling as a full-time artist. So today we're going to talk about toxic relationships, identity, shame, healing, art, rebuilding after abuse, and the powerful moment when a woman realizes it was not me. Oh, Carine, I love that title. I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Julie, I love your show because what I feel is that you hold space for the stories you want to tell. And it's important that we can share and that somebody sees us and listen to us and we can inspire others or be inspired. So thank you for the show. I applaud you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, let's start by you telling us a little bit about who you are and the work that you're doing today.
Okay, so my name is Carine. I lived in Belgium for a very long time. I moved to Norway with my family. I'm a visual artist, and the easiest way to say what I'm doing today is I always say I make people feel less alone by talking about the hidden system behind toxic relationships. And I do that through art installations, speaking about it, and my book, since published in 2025. Yeah.
Well, how does living in Norway influence your art and your healing and the way you see life, or does it?
Oof, this is a wonderful question. It does, because the distance when you move away from your country, it's the first time that we move as a family. So when you move from one country to another, you get some distance between what you have experienced in the past and how you have to integrate into a new kind of. You have to get to know people. You have to get to know the language. Norwegian is not an easy language to learn, but it has. Yeah, it has given me perhaps the space to acknowledge things, to digest things, to make room for new emotions, new insights. And especially, I had a pivotal moment in 2023 when I lost my mom. She was nearly 92 years old. Oh. And when I discovered is that she had been in a toxic relationship for over 65 years, and I didn't know that.
Wow.
So coming back after she had passed away and going through the motions, I discovered that perhaps I should dive deep into this situation because I had so many whys. But I also had left a relationship 2 decades ago that left me with a lot of whys. So I just went for researching on what is toxicity, what is unhealthy relationship, what is narcissistic traits, what does that mean? And then I discovered that everything clicked into one moment that there's a pattern. But because of the fact that I moved from one country to the other one, there were no links anymore with my there was no influence from my family or my friends, because you're on your own here. You're as a family here, and you get the room to actually digest everything and take some time with yourself. It's like almost meditating what has happened to you. Yeah. So moving had a huge influence on myself. And I started to, when you talk about the art, I also had expressed myself I'm a joyful person. My essence is joy. I'm very positive. I have a lot of energy. And my art has always been very expressive, with bold colors and no dark colors at all, because I didn't want to connect with the dark sides of myself. And the distance and being alone here in Norway has moved that for me. So it transformed my art into showing up in a more honest way.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Mm,
You said that after your, and I'm sorry about your mom, but after your mom
mm.
passed away, you realized that she had been in this toxic relationship for such a long time. And so you decided that you were going to dig in and find out, just research and discover like what is really going on. And as you were talking, I thought to myself, that's such a good thing to do because, for example, emotional abuse.
Mm,
No, sometimes we don't even know we're being emotionally abused. And what is
absolutely.
that? And it's so easy for the abuser to place that back on the person that's being abused, the victim.
Mm.
And so I love that that you dove in and you actually started to research that so that you could understand fully what exactly that was going on.
Yeah. It's good that you highlight that because it was like a stacking. I remember when I left the previous relationship, like I'm with my new partner, like almost 19 years together, balanced, harmony, cool. We're cool.
Yes.
Touch wood. Yes, I'm so happy. But I left my former relationship like 2 decades ago, and the only thing I could remember is that it felt confusing. That was a
Mm,
confusing relationship, and it's because I didn't have the words to explain what happened to me. I didn't have a manual. I had no role models, so I didn't know that I was in a toxic relationship. That I didn't
right.
describe that as a toxic relationship. It was domestic abuse. 95% was emotional abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, the whole thing. And 5% was physical. And
Wow.
still, I didn't call it abuse. It's only when my mom died and when I started diving into all the thing, what is a toxic relationship and what is happening here and why do I have all these whys? And I could feel it stacking. And when I discovered the pattern behind toxic relationship and the manipulation, emotional abuse, I discovered that I had been in abuse as well. So it's invisible. We don't know.
Yes.
I didn't know. And I think
Yeah.
I'm a smart person, but I
Yeah.
just didn't know. And I went to study again when I was 45 years old. I studied family science, where you get psychology and all the stuff. 3 years in high school, and still I had so many whys that were not answered because
Mm,
it's just invisible. We don't talk about it. We
yeah.
talk about physical abuse because it's visible. But about
Yes.
the invisible stuff, it's really difficult to get the grip on it
Yeah.
and to understand. And that's why I decided, I mean, if I was burned with wise for such a long time, and it took me, and I wasn't there for my mom, I didn't see
Mm,
it. There was no physical abuse, it was emotional, it was financial, it was hidden. Now that I know the system and I look upon her relationship, I see the pattern. But I didn't see
mhm,
it when she was alive. And she slowly retreated from life. She just
mhm.
disconnected.
Wow.
And my father said it was dementia. It was not. That was a big lie. So so many
Oh,
things happened, yeah, behind the scenes. It was awful. And I felt like she couldn't, uh, I haven't supported her. It hurts me. I haven't I'm going to tear up.
oh.
I didn't support her. I wasn't there for her because I didn't know the system. I didn't know about the different components
Hmm.
so I couldn't support her. So when I understood that I can't do anything, I can't be of meaning to my mom anymore, but I
Hmm.
can stand up and talk about it. And I
Yes.
hope I can be of meaning for the next generation or anybody who's listening.
Well, that's all that we can do because so often we don't see, we don't understand, we don't see things around us when it's happening,
Hmm.
and you were in it. So
Yeah,
how are you going to, if you're living in it, you're living through it, and you can't name it or understand it. How could you possibly know or understand what's happening with her? It's a generational
absolutely.
thing that happens to us.
And I didn't know it. It was because her passing away, she, it was like she gave me a gift,
Yeah.
Karen, something perhaps you can investigate and you can do something with it.
Yeah.
And I've it took me a long time to find my why, really long time. I'm 62, and I always thought I need to find my why. I had this drive and this passion to find my why, and I couldn't find it. And it's only when my mom passed away that I discovered, okay, now I understand. But
Yeah.
it comes with the fear. But it's not because we feel the fear that we shouldn't do it. I could feel
Yeah.
the fear of, or have to stand up and talk about it, and perhaps people will judge me or whatever. So I could feel the fear when I thought, now I have to stand up and talk about it.
Yeah. But you're doing it anyway, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, fear of judgment, especially for women, is just so tough. Yeah. Well, let's
Yes.
talk about Is It Me? Because I love that title. I really do. So, what inspired that title?
Um, because when I started to, when I understood the system, before I understood the system, I always thought it was me.
Mm,
I thought it was me. Is it me that I'm too emotional? I'm too much? I'm too feminine, not feminine enough? Is it me? I felt like it was my fault. And that's
mm,
the feeling that the abusers give you, that it's your fault, that the relationship went wrong, that they started to abuse you, that they exploded. It's your fault. So I thought it was me, and that's why I thought it's a good title. And it's not you. I just want to
yeah.
talk. I just want to talk to your audience. It's not you, and you're
Yes.
not the
Yeah.
only one. If you look at the
Yes.
statistics, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
we, we're just not alone. And yes, you can
Hmm.
heal. You can heal.
Yes, yeah. Well, what does that question do to people over time? Is it me? We're asking ourselves, like, well, is it me? And what am I doing wrong? How can I do things right? What do you think happens to a woman? I'm going to talk women here, but what
Yeah.
happens to a woman over time when when that question is just rolling through your mind?
Yeah, it takes away your self-confidence. It just takes away your identity, I think. To me,
Hmm.
when I left that relationship, I was just a nobody. I just couldn't, I didn't know who I was anymore because of the questions, because of the rumination, because of repeating the same situations or conversations in my head over and over again, trying to understand what happened. What did I say wrong? Is it me? Did I do something wrong? And it makes you doubt yourself until you don't know who you are anymore. And it goes like, it's step by step by step. It's not, it's the confusing thing is that toxic people are not toxic all the time.
Mm,
Sometimes it feels like they love you, like they care for you, like they support you. I say it feels like, because it's not. But it feels like it, so you have hope again. And most of us are positive. We want to make it work. We want to make it that we have a nice relationship together. And I felt shame. I had chosen that gentleman, and now he turns it. Sometimes it felt like he disliked me or he hated me. How is that possible? So, and then you start to think it's you,
of
because
course.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a stacking of little things over time that makes that very confusing um, experience.
Well, can you tell us what you mean when you talk about the hidden system behind toxic relationships? What is that?
Mm. It's it's a layered system, it's complex, and it consists of different components. And I have been talking to many survivors and victims of abuse because of the book and because of the fact that I started talking. And what I hear different stories. Everybody has a different story. They met their partner in a different way or in a different, but the system they use is the same. So it starts the same. It starts with love bombing. We all know. We see that on Instagram and on Facebook. The little presents, the positive feedback, the remarks, the feeling cared and loved. It's like I found my soulmate, and then it gradually starts with isolation, and then as you continue, it starts with gaslighting, with victim blame. They shift blame. So this, but
Mm,
it's like all different components they use on you,
yeah,
and it all follows the same pattern. And perhaps the components will not be in the same order, but it will consist out of the same components. So once you know about the system, you will be able to recognize it. And once you recognize it, you can make a different decision. I
Ah.
didn't know about that
Mm-hmm.
system at all. I've heard some
Mm-hmm.
things, you hear it on like gaslighting. I didn't know what that was. And I think we could go through the whole system, but I think it would take us a long time. But
Yeah.
what I want to say is
Yes.
when, just to be of use, is that when you're confused, when you ruminate a lot about your relationship, when you are tired, when you walk on eggshells all the time, when you when you it feels like they're hijacking your mind. You're
Mm-hmm.
in your head all the time. That's where they want
Mm-hmm.
you to be. They want you to disconnect from your intuition because your intuition
Mm-hmm.
will say, this is wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
This doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Why does he criticize me? Why does he roll his eyes? Why does he? You will feel it, but they make that you stay in your head and you ruminate all the time. That's a
Yeah.
sign. So go
Yeah.
and educate yourself.
Yeah.
Get
So
help.
yes, yes. So what clicked for you when did you wake up?
After the passing of my mom.
The passing of your mom.
So I
Yeah.
have been in, so 2 decades ago, I have been in a toxic relationship that I've been in for 4 years and a half. And when I left,
Mm,
I knew there was something wrong, but I was tired. I had a little son of 10 months old when I left.
mm,
So I was so tired. I had to take care of my son. It was survival. And I didn't understand what I had been through. So, but I had all these whys coming up and I was ruminating afterwards. I was still ruminating because they're in your head. You left, but it's still in your head. So you have to make sure that you detox. But it's,
detox. That's a great way to put
ah,
it. That's an excellent way to put it.
you have to
Yeah.
detox because they're still there.
Yeah.
I had left already 6 months, and my son went. It was his dad's time, so he went to see his dad over the weekend, and I went into a little shop to buy a new vase because I had bought flowers for my house, and I stood in front of the vases, a pink one and a blue one, and I couldn't choose, and I heard his voice. You don't know how to choose. You never know how to choose. And I just run out of the shop because they're there.
Mm,
You really have to detox.
mhm. And if you don't, you could end up back in that same pattern again.
Yeah. And it when I left that relationship, I could feel after like 2 years, I started talking to people again, and I could feel that I was still attracted to people that were not healthy. That's when I
Hmm.
decided to go into therapy. So I've been into
Hmm.
therapy a long time. I decided not to start any relationships anymore. I've been a mom on my own for 7 years.
Yes.
7 years
Yeah.
because I just didn't dare.
Yeah.
I thought I have to make sure that I detox first and I heal first before I get to know somebody else.
Yeah. Well, why do you think it's hard to explain a toxic relationship to someone who's never been in one?
Ooh, I think it's really hard to understand. And that's something we talk about amongst survivors a lot. It only takes one word to understand that somebody else has been a survivor too. We immediately understand each other because we know
Mm,
what we're talking about. Did he do this? Yes, he did. He did. Okay, so and then the whole components come up and you go like,
uh,
okay, there's the system. We know. We know what gaslighting is. We know what it is when somebody takes away your confidence. We know what it is to start doubting yourself because they will just switch your words and they will just switch the whole story that you just. So it's so confusing. We know how that feels. So that's why I always talk about how it feels because perhaps something is easier to understand when I talk about feelings, how it feels to be in such a relationship, than if I talk
mhm.
about components. Perhaps that doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very difficult. It's invisible. I remember when I left, all my friends, most of my friends just looked away. They all believed the story of the abuser. They didn't believe me.
Mm,
And it's because they play with the stories. They tell lies without problems. So they come up with stories why you leave and people believe them.
mhm.
And you're just tired. You don't know anymore who you are. And when you talk about it, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they're just full of confidence. They come with a story which is really clear and concise, and everybody believes them. So it's really
Yeah.
hard to get the grip on what the invisible system is actually.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
as you were talking, I thought about a girlfriend of mine
Mm-hmm.
who she's moved to a different area, and she retired. She was a school bus driver for many, many years, and she's retired from that, but she wanted to do something. So she moved to a very rural area, and she went to the little community store, and she thought, oh, this will be fun, a couple of days a week. And so she did that for about 4 or 5 months, and then realized that the shop owner was toxic, and she was in a toxic relationship, not a love relationship,
Mm-hmm.
a husband,
Mm-hmm.
but with this, and so she left, and she wrote in one of my books about this relationship. And I thought, so it's not just intimate partners. It
Oh
can
no.
be it can be friends, children, your employer. So we really need to, as humans, as women, we really need to understand what toxicity is.
Oh yes. And I still find it very difficult to be very concise and very clear about what it is because I need to take it. When I talk about it, I have about an hour that I
Yeah.
talk about how it starts, how it continues, how I got out, how I healed, because then you get like slices of the whole system behind it. But I think it's good what you bring up to build on what you said is I've been in a toxic relationship at work as well, and it's really confusing. I thought I was being bullied, but when I now know the system. Go like, oh, bah, she first has it was a she. She
Yeah.
love bombed me. She gave me little presents. We went to the movies together. We went for a drink together. It was lovely. We were really good friends. And then she started isolating me on the job, and I didn't see it. And then she started talking behind my back about me. I didn't hear it. So it took me a long time. I left the job after 1 year and a
Mhm.
half of bullying. So it's not only in romance,
Yeah.
it's a toxic system that is being used by many people. And I listened just recently to, what's he called again? He's called Arthur Brooks. He's called the happiness professor. He
Oh,
he gives lectures in Harvard, and he
ah,
says that like about 7% of people are toxic. That's a lot.
wow.
That's 1 in 14. So if you're in a birthday party with 20 people, somebody's there which is toxic. You have to know about it. And
And
these are the friends that become friends
yeah,
too quickly. These
yeah,
are the
yeah.
lovers that become a lover too quickly. They
Hmm.
go really fast. They move really fast.
And so what do you think? I, I, I mean, not that we want to focus on the toxic person, but I'm just curious, with your research, what have you found about the, like, why are people so toxic in this society? Like,
I think that's
why? What is going on?
I think that's a really great question. But I think I have to be honest. I'm not an expert. I'm not a therapist. I've read
Yeah.
about narcissistic people, narcissistic trait, and the whole stuff. But it's really complex, and I think it's beyond my capacity to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
And what I would really want to do is I want to draw our attention on the survivor and the victim, because
Yeah.
what happens now is people don't see the system and they
Yeah.
don't support the victim. They don't.
Yeah.
They look
Yeah.
away, so they don't support the survivor. And
Yes.
it's not only
Yeah.
family and friends, but it's also experts. You have therapists
Mm.
who don't know about toxic relationship, who have never been in it and do not recognize it, who think it's a conflict. No, 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 it's not a conflict, it's
Mm.
abuse. So,
Hmm.
so, and I really want to keep the focus on that
Yeah.
side of the story. And it's because
Yes.
I don't think I have
And I
enough
appreciate
knowledge. Yeah.
Karen, I appreciate you saying that because,
Mhm.
um, yeah, we want to try to help people, and we want to make sure that we're where our knowledge base is. So I
Yes.
appreciate that for sure. So how does someone's confidence, identity, or sense of reality begin to shift? How do they start to, you know, how do you, how did people, like, did you realize start to realize you were in a toxic relationship, or was it you never did?
No,
Only, no.
No, it took me two decades to understand I
Wow.
was in a toxic relationship.
Wow.
It felt confusing. It felt complex. There was abuse, and I didn't see it as abuse. I had all these excuses. It's generational.
Mm,
The stress at work. He has a bad day. Troubles within the family. All kind of things to excuse the bad behavior.
yeah.
It's still bad behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
And when I started talking, which is it's not funny, but it's the truth. When I started talking in public about it, I still said I'm a survivor of um, emotional abuse. No, I'm a survivor of abuse, and it's because the word abuse is like so huge and
Yeah.
difficult and feels like
Yeah.
hard and
Yeah.
but it's abuse.
Yeah.
Even if it's
Yes.
only even if it's only emotional, being talked down, being criticized, being um, attacked, being yeah, you feel the contempt.
Hmm. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
just, I mean, it devaluates you. I mean, it takes away your value. It takes
Hmm.
away your capacity to like enjoy life.
Well,
It's
and to be the best person you can be, because you're just being
also.
pushed down and pushed down.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it goes. It's so little.
Mm.
It's subtle. It's a subtle stacking every day. It's like receiving a teaspoon of poison every day. By the time that you
Mm.
recognize that you're poisoned, you don't have the strength anymore to leave.
Wow. Yeah. That's a great
That's how it
analogy.
feels. That's how it
Yeah.
feels.
Well, what
And you
would you?
know, oh,
Oh,
I have another analogy because you say
yes.
analogy.
I know.
when you when I got to know this human being, which was lovely and wonderful, and we had so much in common, I was so happy. It was our first meeting was eclectic. I was like energized fully, and I was like, oh, I can't believe that this is happening to me. That's a red flag already. But what's happening is
Mm.
when you see a toxic person, it's like an iceberg. You only see the tip, and you never know when it's going to flip, because
Mm.
then you will see the real person without the mask, and they only show themselves in the house and not outside of the house. And to me, I didn't know that until after having left the relationship, that they don't show up in the same way outside of the house as they dare to show
Mhm.
themselves in the house. I thought they were the same everywhere because that's how we show up, but
Yes.
they play a
Yes.
different game.
Yeah. Well, what would you say to someone who feels alone and believes that what's happening is their fault?
Ooh, first of all, it's not you. It's not you. You're probably a very healthy person in an unhealthy relationship. But in order to recognize that you're in an unhealthy relationship, you need to recognize the hidden systems, so the components of that. So I would say, if you feel confused and you think it's you, um, try to educate yourself or what a toxic or an unhealthy relationship is, or what a healthy relationship is. Because if you're in a healthy relationship, people build each other up. How can I support you so that you can do the things that are important to you? And how can you support me so I can do the things that are important or uplift me or energize me? In a toxic relationship, it's one has all the power, the other one has no power.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
different. That's
Hmm.
abuse. They're gonna can you show up the way you are, or do you have to uh, tone down or hide some of your personality, or hide some of your characters, or hide some of the the things that you're great in, because they cannot live with that side of you? Can you talk about everything in your relationship, or do they lash out at you when you talk about certain stuff? So the moment you start doubting, educate yourself, go out there, talk to a therapist. And I know that in many countries we have a toll-free number
Hmm.
where you can
Yes.
talk for free. Check. Perhaps one check will save you 20 years, because 20 years the average time that people stay in a toxic relationship. That's a lot.
Wow.
So
20
get
years is
out.
the average?
Yes.
Holy
Yes.
cow. Wow.
Yes. Well, if you, my mom, 65 plus years,
Yes.
it,
Yeah. Yes.
I was 4 years and a half, but my mom
Yeah.
was 65. So it's in between.
Hmm.
I come across many women wait until the children are grown up before they leave.
Yeah.
20 years, 25 years, 30
Yeah.
years of marriage. It's not a good idea to stay for the kids.
No,
It's
no.
poison for
Well,
the children.
and because what's that teaching your children as well? They're
Yes.
living in because they're living in that. They see it every
It's
day. They're living in it. It's not necessarily helping anybody.
no, and it has a
No.
huge toll on your body. Your
Yes.
nervous system is on alert all the
Yes.
time.
Yes.
It takes
Yeah.
a long time to heal. I'm
Yeah.
still healing. I'm still
Yeah.
becoming. Yeah. So I'm
Yes.
not there yet, but yeah.
So what does recovery look like when you're doing well, but still discovering new ways to care for yourself? So how does that look for people coming out of those toxic relationships?
It's a long way. I think to me, what helped me the most was therapy. I'm
Mm,
so grateful that I had a therapist who could support me, you feel listened and supported, and nobody says you're crazy. They say you're a healthy person, but that was a unhealthy situation. Let's look at the situation. Where does it come from? Where are the triggers?
mm,
But then there's a lot of work still to be done because I was still living in my head. So
right.
I started meditating because I wanted to clear my head. I wanted to be sure that I was talking to myself, not talking to somebody else in my head. So meditation
Mhm.
has helped me, but also your body needs to relax,
Yeah.
and that's for me that was a hard thing. So I started to move, so exercise, yoga. Uh, I do cold water plunging here in Norway because I
Ooh.
feel how yes,
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
feel how it helps me to be in the now.
Yes. Yeah.
Still, after two
Yeah.
decades, to
Yeah.
be in the now and
Yeah.
not start going back. What helped me is the moment I understood that it's a system, I could
Hmm.
feel like the shame go away
Yeah.
because I go
Yeah.
like, okay, it's not me.
Yes.
Wow, it's a
Yeah.
system, and now I can
Yeah.
explain. I have language for it. I can become a role model for others. And
Yeah.
what it gave me is it gave me I could breathe again, and it gave me back freedom, a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
something I want to give to everybody who has been in a toxic, that you can breathe again. You go like, okay, it's not
Mm.
me, but I can explain because some of my family members have read the book. Some of my friends have read the book who looked away in the past and said, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I
Oh.
didn't see it.
Hmm.
And it's so good to hear that
Mm-hmm.
people acknowledge the fact that you have been on your own,
Yeah.
alone in a situation which was, you
Yeah.
should not be on your own. You should be
No.
supported.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let me ask you, when you were writing the book, what was the hardest part of putting your story and insights into words? What was the most difficult thing?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I didn't want to have I didn't want to talk about my life. I didn't want to have it like an how do you say that in English?
A biography. Yeah.
Biography.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to be of meaning. Have, I wanted this book to be a guide to people.
Hmm.
If I'm doubting, perhaps you should read the guide because then you can see how the system works. So I explain in the storytelling telling each time it's how did we meet and
Yeah.
what are the first things that I saw there. So what
Mm.
we know about people that are toxic is they're spotting all the time for people who are vulnerable. Perhaps you had just moved to a different country. Perhaps you have just quit your job. Perhaps you just lost somebody there and you're in a bit of a shaky situation. They're spotting for people like that. I just came out
Hmm.
of a divorce for 2 years before. So I was still
Yeah.
shaky when I met that
Yeah.
gentleman.
Yeah.
So, and that's what they do. So if you know that, and if you know, I talk about the story and then I give some a theoretical theory of what does that actually mean. So gaslighting with the story, and then what is gaslighting actually, so that people
Yeah.
get and the story and the theory behind it. So I talk only 10% of my whole story is in the book because I wanted to
Yes.
be concise, clear, and that
Yeah.
people can read through. And what I hear
Yeah.
back from readers is that it's clear, it's concise, they can't put it back, they can't put it down because it's like really, it's fast. It's
Yes.
at a fast moving pace and it's interesting. And that's what I
Yes.
wanted. I want everybody. My son is dyslexic. and he read the book. He said it was easy to read and it goes fast. It's in a fast moving pace. So it's really
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Oh, well, how did you feel when you published the book? Because you now were, that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to, but when you put it in a book and you publish that book, how was that for you to be publicly seen as a survivor?
That's a very good question. Yeah. You know that because you talk to all these women who have yes. So that's a good question. I remember that I took my phone to talk about that in public. My book is published today. It's gonna be out tomorrow, and I'm so fearful. I'm so in doubt because I can feel it. It just triggers my whole body
Oh,
because I could feel like, oh my God, they're gonna know. And I only talk about 10%. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to choose these pivotal moments that people could actually understand what was happening. I didn't want to just
Mm,
go on and on about what happened, but I wanted to give these pivotal moments, the golden nuggets of the things that I discovered and the
yeah.
healing that came afterwards. But I could feel like I was so triggered and I was so much in fear. I didn't sleep that night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I
Well,
have to
it's,
say,
yeah.
what what when it came out, like when I talked for the very first time on stage, we had 200 people that were present.
Wow.
Yes, and what I discovered there is that I wasn't judged. People came up
Hmm.
to me and said, "I'm so happy you stand up as a survivor because nobody talks about the emotional abuse, the invisible things that's happening."
Hmm.
I had so many people coming up to me telling their story for the very first time to a
Hmm.
stranger. So I think when you stand up for your cause, then you should not doubt about the fact that you're being judged. You should look for all the people that you give a
Hmm.
reason to stand up
Hmm.
and rise as well, because you're not
Yeah.
standing up alone. There's a
No.
whole bunch of people that's standing together with you. You rise together.
Yeah.
And that's that sense of belonging that you have with your show as well. You
Yes.
rise together. You don't do it alone. And it's a
Yeah.
marvelous feeling. So
Yeah.
when you feel the shame, you could just go, you leave the shame there and you just look for being of meaning and it just changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Karen, I could go on and just keep talking with you. It's just you explain things so well and it's easy to understand. So I can see how your son said, "Oh, this book is like easy to understand," and you rip through it. So I'm interested in reading the book myself. I think that
Mm.
and I think everybody should read it because that's the thing. Like we've all run into people. We've all run into
Yes.
people, and sometimes we all think, oh, it's just, intimate relationships, but it's not. It's shop owners, it's friends, it's kids, it's, parents. It happens in different places. So it's important and not only for yourself, but I would read it so that you could recognize it in the people that it's happening to the people that you love.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, can I build on that? I
Yes,
think
yes, of
it's
course you can. Yes.
Oh, I think it's so important what you say there because if you know about how it evolves, how it starts, how it evolves, how what are the triggers, what are the red flags, what are the components of that, the patterns behind it, then you can be of meaning to as a friend, as a
Yes.
family member, as a colleague, because now you have this charismatic, inspiring human being that says that the other one is to blame and we believe him or her.
Yes.
But if you can listen to both parties, you will see the pattern playing out.
Yeah.
Because the victim is the one who's confused, who's tired, who
Hmm.
doesn't know anymore, cannot explain what happened, who doesn't have language. So you will understand and you can be of meaning. You can see the victim, you can see the survivor. And
Yeah.
that's so important.
So important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is a beautiful thing to leave on. So I
Mm,
want everyone to know that we're going to have a link to Karen's book, so you can find her, you can purchase the book. I would encourage you to read it. It doesn't sound like a super heavy read. It sounds very educational. So I would definitely do that so that you not only can help yourself, but you can help those
mm,
around you as well. Karen,
absolutely.
thank you so much for being here. I've I've learned some stuff. I love doing this. I just learn from everybody, and I've learned from you as well, and I greatly appreciate you coming on the show and helping others in the world. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for being such a warm and great host. I appreciate
Oh,
that. Thank you.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Well, that's it for this episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. And please be sure to tune in next time. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.